Good evening, sir. As you know, I am Kshitiz. I am 24 years old. I belong to the place Palampur in Kangra district of Himachal Pradesh. I have done my graduation in Electronics and Communication Engineering from NSIT Delhi. This is my second attempt in Himachal Pradesh Administrative Services, and this is going to be my first interview. My hobbies include playing football. I play chess as well, and I am also interested in learning etymology of different words.
Right. So you have an interesting hobby, etymology.
Yes.
How did you start with it? What was in this that interested you and you took that up as a hobby?
So I am very much interested in knowing the origin of words. I like to know the history of words. I am fascinated about how words are made. It can be related to my psychology as related to knowing history of different things. And I like to know how these words come into being. For example, yesterday I was reading about the meaning of the etymology of the word West. So the meaning of the word West has come from a Latin word which meant evening. So the people in in historical times, maybe they use the word evening to denote the setting of the sun, and related it to the word to the what can I say, the beginning of the word West. So I am fascinated about how these words started and how these words came into being.
So I was no issues. I can repeat. So you completed your education in 2019, right?
Yes, yes.
You didn't apply for any job or you started your preparation immediately after your graduation or what?
Yes, sir. I started my preparation during my final year in my 7th semester, and I started reading NCRTs and the basic books which were associated with this exam. And I was pretty clear in my mind that I will not go for placement as my age was less, and I wanted to see a broader perspective of life. I had known that this job provides a broader perspective of life and a different worldview of things. I had already decided that I will not go for placement and I will study for this job.
I see you have cleared NDA twice, CDS once, and you already have a, I believe, a younger brother in already in NDA. So you were always inclined for the defense services.
So there's a atmosphere in our district or in our state, I can say, that working in the armed forces is considered an honorable job, and we have seen that there are many martyrs and many respectable officers from our state. So I had this inclination of mind towards going toward the defense services. The a part reason for this can be my limited knowledge about different career options, but the honor and the prestige which armed forces provide was unmatchable, and I thought that I could make a career in that. Another reason which I can say that motivated me to go towards this field of study was, if you go into the army, it provides you a whole an all-round personality development, whether it is in terms of your physical appearance or is it in terms of your mental fitness. They make you mentally tough. So I thought that that would be, and it also provides it's also an avenue for public service in a way. So I thought that this would be a bright career option.
I see a huge gap in your percentage in graduation, starting from 80 to 93, and typically from 93 to 56.7. What's the reason behind that?
So I accept that my percentage in my graduation degree is not at par with my abilities or my previous record in academics. The primary reason which I have self-assessed for this would be my core interest. my core interest was inclined toward natural sciences from the beginning. Uh, when I was in class 12th, and I was not aware of many career options, so I thought of doing engineering because it provided me with a lucrative job opportunity. And another reason why I chose engineering and could not do well in it could be the social perception in our countries, if I can say so. Because I was good in studies, and people who are generally good in studies in their 11th and 12th generally opt to go for engineering. So I also went for engineering, but I could not fare well in that field.
Good. So you think now you are not able to do well there, but you will be able to perform well in this field because it's a general science. Is it so?
So I think civil services is a diversified job, and it requires you to have knowledge and expertise in various kind of things. And it is true that civil service is a generalist job, and I feel that yes, my abilities would help me to would help me to do well in this field. So yes, I will agree with you.
Recently, we are listening about Ukraine crisis, and it's in news. Now, what is the issue?
So the issue is related to Russia's security concerns in the West Europe. Russia, the issue started during the Cold War, and Russia, there were two blocks. One was Russia and one was led by USA. So the current issue is related to Russia's security concerns, where NATO, which is the grouping which is denoted as the grouping of the Western countries, is expanding towards Russia, and Russia considered Ukraine as a buffer state or its own state, and Ukraine was going to join NATO, almost join NATO, in fact. So Russia has security concerns, and Russia wants to create a buffer state to manage its security. So this is the issue why Russia is invading Ukraine.
That India is taking? What is your take on the stand that India is taking?
So I feel in international relations, every country looks for its own self-interest, and India is doing the same. It is walking a tightrope on its diplomatic front. It is neither condemning Russia over its crisis, neither it's openly helping Ukraine in its way. But I think what I feel, it's my stand that some kind of condemnation should be there, not in a diplomatic words, because there are huge violations of human rights. The people are suffering, and India, being the leader of the democratic world, one of the leaders of the democratic world, should stand up to this crisis, and I should actively engage in resolving this crisis.
You have written you possess a balance of rationality and morality in your decision making. Give me some examples of this.
So in every situation, I try to balance my reasons with my ethical principles. They might not be in tandem for every time, but I try to balance them. One example which I can think of right now would be, if I could narrate an incident.
Yes.
Okay, so I had come back from Delhi once, and I went to a local hospital for routine checkup. And the guidelines at that time during COVID were that a person who has returned from Delhi should be quarantined for at least 2 weeks, and then he would be given entry in the hospital. So I came back from Delhi, quarantined myself for 2 weeks, and then on the 15th day, I went to the hospital. But the hospital staff rejected me to take me in the hospital, or give me to allow me to enter their OPD. My mother told me that you should lie to them that you have not gone anywhere, you have not came back from Delhi, and you should lie so that they will immediately let you in. But I said no, I will not lie, because I have done nothing wrong. I have quarantined myself for the 14 days, which is the official guideline, but they rejected me to come inside. So that presents uh, my stand on morality. Then I argued with them. I persuaded them to let me in, because if the state government is allowing me to come inside within 2 weeks, then how can you stop me? So this presents my rationality side of my stand. So this, in this way, I managed to keep my rationality and morality in a perfect balance.
Okay, Kshitiz, do you want to join civil services or you want to join defense services?
Given an option.
So initially, I would accept that I wanted to join defense services because I had limited knowledge of many career options, and defense services was the most lucrative one. I even studied in Army Public School for even just for that purpose. But now that I have a different worldview of things, I understand things in a different manner. I understand the issues that are pervasive in our society. My inclination has turned towards civil services, as it would allow me to serve a large chunk of people as compared to defense forces. So now I will choose civil services over defense services.
So do you think the temperament required for both are different, or you can join any service with the same temperament?
So I think there are some similarities and there are some differences. In defense forces, sometimes you need to be, what can I say, brutal, or very brutal in a way that sometimes you have to kill someone, or sometimes you have to take some hard decisions. Whereas in civil services, you have to understand the issues at the societal level, what are or the basic crux of the issues that are pervasive in the society at the basic grassroots level. Whereas in armed forces, the issues are basically on a surface level and not very deep entrenched. I mean, the issues in the defense services are limited to a particular sector, which is security. Whereas in civil services, the issues are related to various fields. It includes security as well. It includes societal development. It includes economic development. It includes management of the environment. So yes.
Okay. Are you aware of any employment statistics of Himachal or the country? The situation of employment or unemployment?
I'm not exactly sure, sir, but I think the periodic labor survey, which came last year, recorded India's unemployment rate to be 8%, around 8%. I'm not exactly sure, but this is what I can recall. And I don't know about the unemployment statistics of Himachal Pradesh at all.
Do you think that unemployment is an issue?
If I may clarify, unemployment in Himachal Pradesh or in the country in general?
In the country in general.
Okay, sir. Yes, I would agree that unemployment is one of the major issues in our society. People are not able to find jobs. People possessing good degrees, even post-graduated degrees, are not able to find jobs. So I would agree with you.
What do you think? Why they are not able to find jobs?
So there can be multiple factors in this manner, in this regard. One and the most foremost factor, which I think would be the lack of skill in our country. The skilled labor is very less, and most of the people are unskilled laborers working in either Manrega or either they are agricultural laborers. We have a huge demographic dividend, and we are not able to reap that benefit in a coherent manner. Second, I would like to think that unemployment can be attributed to the huge population and the limited job opportunities in India. There is investment in the recent times, but the investment in our country is not in par with the jobs generated. So these two are the major issues in the pervasive unemployment in the country.
Okay, so in which category you will put a postgraduate? Skilled labor or unskilled labor?
I would put a postgraduate in an unskilled labor, sir. A skilled labor is
unskilled.
Yes.
Okay, so what should we do to generate employment in the country?
So skilling is the most important thing. If people are skilled, more companies will come into our country and allow for more employment. Even our government has started Skill India mission for achieving this thing. Second is more investment in our country, more companies, if they come into our country and start their factories or their plants here, more and more people will get jobs. And third could be, sir, these two are the ones that I can think of right now.
Okay. What do you think should be done in Himachal with respect to generating employment and with respect to magnifying the GDP of Himachal Pradesh?
So I think tourism is the major sector in which Himachal can fare very well. There are many parts of our state which are untouched by tourists. Recently, the opening of Atal Tunnel has opened various avenues for tourism, but still there are many parts in our state which are untouched, and developing new infrastructure, developing the connectivity to these places, and promoting our places, like Madhya Pradesh has done. They run campaigns, they run different advertisements to promote their place, to promote their tourist places. I think Himachal is lacking in that. Tourism is a major sector in which we can improve in our unemployment, improve for our unemployment. Second, I think that's we have a lot of area. For example, Lahaul and Spiti is barren, and a lot of the population density there is very less. So we can develop renewable energy programs, such as we can put up solar panels there because of large area, which will serve a dual purpose.
Kshitiz, if we select you, which two areas will you focus? I want to work in these two areas and get them corrected. Two problems and solutions.
So first, I would say the health sector in Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
The health facilities are there, but they are not in par with the requirements of the state. We have colleges, we have medical colleges in every district, but those are not functioning at the highest capacity, and the health facilities are not reaching the grassroots level.
Why?
So one would be health.
Why?
Sorry?
You are saying infrastructure is there, everything is there, then why people are not getting the benefit? What is the exact problem?
So I think, yes, I think, sir, the major reason for this is the absenteeism of doctors, the lack of manpower in our health facilities. I mean, for example, if I give you example of my village, last year I went to my primary health center. Everything is there, beds are there, the required medicines are there, but the people to dispatch these medicines, the doctor is not available at the given hours. So I think manpower is lacking. So that's why the infrastructure is not resulting into the benefits it is intended.
What can be done to check it? What will you do?
I as a civil servant will focus on more field visits, more inspections, because I feel that if the head of an organization is strong and it sets an example to the lower rungs of the organization as well, that yes, we have to do our work efficiently and more productivity with more productivity. So I think inspections and more monitoring is the key to unlock this.
It was nice talking to you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. I think it went decently well, not very well, not as per my expectations, but I think it went decently well. Some questions I could not explain very properly, and there was some dearth of words during my speech or my talking. The Ukraine and NATO questions was not handled well and not explained well. I think yes.
कहाँ काम करने की जरूरत है? कहाँ लगा?
मुझे लगता है मैं थोड़ा एक तो तेज बोल देता हूँ, कोई जल्दबाजी करता हूँ, थोड़ा तेज बोलता हूँ।
स्पीड तो ठीक है तुम्हारी, इससे तो स्लो हो जाएगा क्योंकि नॉर्मल स्पीड है। मतलब तुम बहुत ज्यादा तेज तो नहीं बोल रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत तेज बोल रहे हो, और ये तो थॉट्स अगर क्विकली नहीं आ रहे हो एक अलग चीज है, बट हाँ जो आपका बोलने का स्पीड था वो ठीक था, आप खुद भी सुनेंगे। बस एक चीज जो सर भी कह रहे थे, जैसे ग्रेजुएशन में आपके कम आई है परसेंटेज ना, तो आपने सीधा ही कर दिया कि मैं इंक्लाइंड था जनरल साइंसेस के लिए और उधर ही मेरा इंटरेस्ट उसमें था, मतलब ऐसे एक बेचारे वाली अप्रोच आ जाती है फिर। है ना कि वो एक कि इंजीनियरिंग इसीलिए मैं ढंग से कर भी नहीं पाया, नहीं थे तो समझ आ गया तो बीच में छोड़ देनी थी। ठीक है, अब जब पूरी करी है तो कुछ सोच के ही करी है। ठीक है, क्या होता है ना, जिस टाइम पे हम जो डिसीजन लेते हैं वो बेस्ट होता है। आपने सोच समझ के ट्राई किया होगा, लगाओगे यार इंजीनियरिंग ठीक चीज है, कर लेते हैं। जब घुस गए, घुसने के बाद आपने और क्या किया वहां पे, क्योंकि अगर आपकी परसेंटेज कम आई है देखो ना, उसका एक रीजन होना चाहिए और वो पॉजिटिव रीजन होना चाहिए। कोई पॉजिटिव रीजन नहीं दिया, और ये रीजन क्या दे दिया, मैं तो बेचारा, झट से बेचारे बन गए ना कि मेरा इंटरेस्ट उधर था। और देखो जो डिफीटिस्ट एटीट्यूड लेके कोई आएगा ना, वो अपने को चाहिए ही नहीं, अपने को तो विनर्स चाहिए। समझ रहे हैं? दे आर लुकिंग फॉर पीपल हु हैव एक्सेल्ड इन देयर लाइफ। मैं ऐसे भी नहीं कह रहा हूँ, देखो प्रैक्टिकल लोग चाहिए, सिंपल लोग चाहिए, जिन्होंने लाइफ में कुछ किया है। और देखो सबकी लाइफ में अप्स एंड डाउन आ रहे हैं, अगर आप कोई दिखा दोगे ना कि मैं नॉर्मल इंसान हूँ, सबको समझ में आता है इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में क्या हुआ होगा। बट आप ये बता सकते हो ना आपने अपना टाइम कहाँ इन्वेस्ट किया जिस वजह से आपकी परसेंटेज कम रही, आप क्या सीखे वहां से। अदरवाइज जो आप बात बोलो ना प्लेसमेंट्स में बैठा नहीं, तो 56.7% पे आपको प्लेसमेंट्स में बैठने देती मेजोरिटी
कंपनीज तो नहीं बैठने देती,
है ना। कोई स्टार्टअप वगैरह है वो उठा लेते हैं अदरवाइज, है ना। तो ये भी बात है, तो हमें तो उसको कैसे जस्टिफाई करना है वो उसका एक आंसर बनाओ, और बेचारा बन के फायदा नहीं है ना। तो क्या किया आपने, कुछ तो किया होगा, देखो 4 साल बिताए, इतने अच्छे कॉलेज में बिताए हैं, कुछ तो किया है ना। ब्रिंग आउट दैट जस्टिफिकेशन, समथिंग पॉजिटिव जो इसको एक रीजन दे सके। और हाँ ऑब्वियसली एजुकेशन में फंबल हुए हैं, बट उसका एक रीजन होना चाहिए कि कुछ किया है लाइफ में, उतने में आपने ग्रो किया, उसका एक रीजन हमको चाहिए। ठीक है, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट मुझे लगा। ठीक है, बाकी और रैशनैलिटी मोरालिटी का मतलब एग्जांपल मुझे कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाया। ठीक है ना, कि मुझे अभी तक वो ना कैसे इसने जोड़ दिया कि मैं अपनी रैशनैलिटी भी दिखा रहा हूँ। ठीक है, मोरालिटी में आप थोड़ा, चलो मैंने मॉरल स्टांस लिया, तो तुम कैसे रैशनैलिटी से जोड़ रहे हो, आपने क्या अपनी क्विक थिंकिंग दिखाई थोड़ा ना, या तो एग्जांपल या तो उसी को होना ज्यादा अच्छा बनाओ, है ना। अदरवाइज एग्जांपल मतलब, क्योंकि ये आप लिख रहे हो, जो चीज आप लिख रहे हो आप घर से तैयार करके जा रहे हो ना, वो तो एकदम आपके पास सेट होना चाहिए उसके एग्जांपल्स, तो थोड़ा इस पे सोचना। ठीक है सर।
So couple of other things, I think we didn't also venture into that much, पर हिमाचल गवर्नमेंट्स की कौन कौन सी वेलफेयर स्कीम्स है, व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट वेलफेयर, हमने नेशनल लेवल पे काफी सर के साथ आपने बात की, हिमाचल की कौन कौन सी हैं, उनको यू शुड हैव देम ऑन द टिप्स ऑफ योर हैंड, राइट, कि क्यों है, कैसे हैं, वेदर इज फॉर वुमेन्स, वेदर इज फॉर द, बिकॉज यू टॉक अबाउट द कम्युनिटी अलॉट, कि भैया मुझे डिफेंस में इसलिए नहीं, मुझे जो बाद में समझ में आया 4 साल बाहर रह के, it was a kind of good for me, saying that I didn't clear CDS or NDA, and I got the opportunity to see a civil society much closer. इससे मुझे ये समझ में आया, right? So वो बात I can understand, but आपने वो आप रिलेट किस चीज से समझ आया, कॉलेज में क्लासेस ना लगाने से, या आपने कुछ उस टाइम पे आपने देखा कि हैव यू जॉइंड सर्टेन थिंग्स, हैव यू वेंचर्ड इनटू सर्टेन पीपल कनेक्ट, कि वहां पे मुझे लगा कि ये हुआ है, एंड देन दीज आर द स्कीम्स दैट गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव्स आर बीइंग टेकिंग अपॉन, बिकॉज people will try to find out the time where what you have spent in the engineering college and where you spend that quality time. You completed it in 2019, right? And
Yes.
you have been and preparing since then,
Yes, sir.
right? तो आपको वो थोड़ा जस्टिफाई करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा बताना पड़ेगा, एंड दोस हैव टू बी कमिंग फ्रॉम द डीप इन योर हार्ट काइंड ऑफ, कि कहाँ से किस चीज किस इमोशन के ऊपर आप बात करना चाहते हैं. Second
Okay.
is the points in terms of schemes, welfare schemes, because that was major reasoning. You say that वहाँ पे एक security concern था, यहाँ पे overall concerns है, right? तो कौन कौन सी वेलफेयर स्कीम्स के ऊपर हिमाचल गवर्नमेंट का क्या क्या कंट्रोल देती हैं, या आपके एरियाज में कौन सी चल रही हैं, यू शुड हैव दैट ऑन द टॉप ऑफ योर माइंड, राइट? इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, यू आर पास आउट फ्रॉम वन ऑफ द गुड कॉलेजेस, इन एनीवन गेटिंग इन NSITs is a good college, right? So it comes under DU. So you have that good aura of providing the information, communicating the information. So everything is good. Just stick to this 4 years plan, and what are the current affairs going on, right?
Okay.
And for me, to be frank, you handled Ukraine question bit very good, right?
Okay.
For me, it was good. So
Okay,
over to you.
Yes, Kshitiz, as per my assessment, you did well. You are thoughtful in your answers. Your communication skill is very well.
Okay, sir. Thank
There is
you.
no issue about your communication skill. One thing is that don't answer for the sake of just giving the answer. Just be thoughtful, और आपका जो आंसर है वो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि हाँ, आप एक सीनियर पोजीशन पे बैठे हो और उस व्यक्ति का कैसा पर्सपेक्टिव होता है, उस तरह का आंसर हो आपका, ठीक है? अदरवाइज बाकी आप में कोई ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं है.
कौन सा आंसर था सर जो जैसा जिसमें आपको लगा कि I should have not answered just and I answered just for the sake of
नहीं,
answering?
ऐसा नहीं है. मैं आपको इन जनरल बोल रहा हूँ
Okay, okay.
कि कोई आंसर ऐसा नहीं देना है जो आपके पास क्लैरिटी है. जैसे यूक्रेन वाला फॉर मी आल्सो इट वाज सेटिस्फाइंग. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपको वो बस डीप ऐसा है कि पुतिन ही आपको फोन कर रहा है उधर से, वो आपको फोन कर रहा है, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना. Whatever information we are gathering from news and all other sources, तो जितना वो इंफॉर्मेशन है ठीक है, उसको आप फ्रेम करके बता सकते हो. हाँ,
मेरे माइंड में एक क्लियर पिक्चर है उस क्राइसिस की. वो मेरे को लग रहा है कि मैं एग्जैक्टली वो रिप्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाया, इसलिए मेरे को ऐसा फील हो रहा है.
नहीं वो ठीक है. जो तो आपको अपने फ्लॉज खुद नजर आ रहे हैं, उन पे तो आप खुद काम कर ही सकते हो, तो कोई इश्यू नहीं है. जो हमें नजर आए हैं वो हमने आपको बता दिए हैं.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर.
So couple of other point is, one thing is everything was good in your introduction. Close your introduction on a strong point which you want to discuss. जो last points आते हो जहाँ पे आप चाहते हो कि discussion आगे बढ़े, वहाँ से. Until unless someone is really do not want to discuss, it starts from somewhere else. There's something else. But एक बार थोड़ा सा उस पे काम कर लीजिएगा. Rest everything is good, my friend. Just focus on this 4 years part that we talked about. It should have some positive approach in terms of where you started and landing there.
Okay, sir.
और कॉन्फिडेंट रहो. देखो ना, इतना कुछ किया हुआ है. मतलब मैं कहना चाह रहा हूँ, हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि तुमने लाइफ में कुछ गड़बड़ करी है या कोई कमी है. बस बात इतनी है ना कि मतलब वेयर इट लाइक अ बैच, मतलब कि हाँ किया है लाइफ में बढ़िया. क्योंकि जितने तुम हो, जिस हिसाब से जिस एज पे तुम इतनी बढ़िया बात कर रहे हो, सब लोग बोल रहे हैं कितना छोटा बढ़िया थॉटफुल है, अच्छे से सोच के बोल रहा है, ठीक है ना. तो हाँ, दिमाग तुम में है, अच्छे से उसको अप्लाई कर रहे हो. बस ना कॉन्फिडेंट रहो कि हाँ बस ठीक है, लाइफ ऐसी है, मैंने ये डिसीजन लिया, बढ़िया किया, ठीक है ना. थोड़ा सा मतलब ना अपना, और एक जैसे स्माइल करके आप बात करो, आराम से बात करो. क्योंकि हम आपस में बात करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और आपको समझने में हेल्प करना है. क्योंकि अगर हम आपको समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, आप हमको हेल्प करो.
जी सर.
ठीक है ना, बस इतना सा. तो रिलैक्स रहो, और ऐसा भी नहीं कि कुछ अलग पोर्ट्रे करना है. जो हो ना बस उतना समझा दो.
ठीक है.
हम बस ये खुद के लिए क्लैरिटी रखो, और उतना ही हमको अगर आप बता पा रहे हो ना, सब लोग खुश है कि ठीक है, पर्सनालिटी अच्छी है, अच्छे से बात कर रहे हैं, सब कुछ ठीक है, ठीक है, एक हमको जो दिखा कि ऐसा ना कि एक पॉइंट होता है अलग से दिख रहा होता है वहां पे, हाँ ठीक है थोड़ा फोकस कर दिया, और उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि उसमें आपने स्टेप बैक करना है,
ओके
आपने उसको एक जस्टिफिकेशन देनी है, उसका एक रीजन बनाना है, ठीक है।
ओके ओके सर,
ऑल द बेस्ट,
बेस्ट ऑफ लक माय फ्रेंड।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।